Okay, now that you have done all the pretests, you and your team have looked at the pretest data using the collaborative charts created on Google Drive. Now is the fun part, the time where you will actually decide what instructional things are we going to do to see students increase. So based on activities that you do, those activities will determine whether or not your students grow. So we have to be very strategic in what activities we do to help our students. So first of all, you'll think in the gray, you'll put in your standards. So maybe you have 3 standards. If you just had 1 standard, you just go through this chart for 1 standard. But if on that pretest you had 3 different standards, then you're going to go through this flow chart 3 different times. So sometimes I say it's best to stick with 1, maybe 2 standards on a pretest, because it gets to be a lot of footwork to try to do so many different standards and really hone in what we need to do and the activities we need to do to see student growth. So let's just say there was 1 standard. We'll write the standard in where it says standard 1. Ours in this case was context clues. Okay, so what were the students' strengths? What were the students' weaknesses? And you can write it right under the flow chart, or you can take notes and someone can do that. So we really want to focus on the strengths. What did they do well? What did they already know? What did they come to us knowing? Next, you'll look at the student weaknesses. What didn't they know? What were some misconceptions and so forth? And you'll discuss that. So based on those 2 ideas, what activities will really help to bridge any gaps, to help close any misconceptions, and to scaffold our children to move to the next level of that standard? So you'll come up with 3 activities that you all will do together. In the green. So you do activity 1, you'll do activity 2, you'll do activity 3. And again, you're discussing all along as you all plan and do this together. Maybe you can even do some extra time doing some lesson planning. And then resources. What resources will you need to see this happen? Maybe you'll have to speak with your principal if you need people to come in, if you need financial help to help you get this through. But we really need to focus on the activities and be very strategic and precise in the activities that will help build those weaknesses and continue those strengths. So we'll jump down now to the yellow. We'll do the assessment of event 1, assessment of the activity 2, and then if you did an activity 3, there should be another assessment, and it can be a formative assessment. It doesn't have to be a big test that you have to, grade all over again. It can be, informal assessments that you do with your students, but you definitely want to take note. And based on that information, we start the process all over again. Learning objective 1, 2, and 3. And that is the next pretest data that you will use and start the process that we've gone through all over again. So based on the strengths and weaknesses, we can pull so much to help drive the next standard and what we want to do next for our pretest using this flow chart.